Have you ever seen this brand before?
Yes.
And what do you know that's associated with this brand?
I don't know.
Go. Have you ever seen this brand before?
No.
Have you ever seen this brand before?
I have not.
Okay. Okay, ready, go.
Okay.
Have you ever seen this brand before?
What?
Have you ever seen this brand before?
No, I have not.
Seen this brand before?
Yes.
And what do you know about the product?
All I know is that she made in Maine and doing stuff in Maine. Those types
local?
of things.
All right.
Local. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Go. Have you ever seen this brand before?
No.
Perfect. Have you ever seen this brand before?
No.
Hi, I'm Drew Shelley.
I'm Racheletta.
I'm Devin Greenlaw.
And I'm Marissa Roberts, and we're here to talk to you today about Get Real, Get Maine.
So, Get Real, Get Maine was started by the State of Maine Department of Agriculture and Conservation and Forestry in 2000. They employ about 770 employees, and from 2000 until 2006, they had a larger amount of funding towards their advertising. But in 2006, that was cut, and the funding for the Get Real, Get Maine program was reduced to 30% of the State of Maine Department budget. And this caused for a much lesser amount of advertising that came out of this part. And this caused the revenue to only be about $3,500 from the Get Real, Get Maine logo. So the sample size that we used was estimated to be about 700 people. This would be 300 people from Maine and 400 people from out of Maine but in New England. And the actual numbers were 314 Mainers and 415 people from out of Maine. So the question variety that we used to understand what they were thinking was the price of the apples, the quality of the apples, and where the apples were purchased. So like a farmer's market or a supermarket. And the survey variety was distributed in 3 random types. This went from the Get Real, Get Maine logo, the competitor that was from New York, and one absent of any logo. This allowed for a more random amount of data. So the data analysis that we used was collected through Qualtrics with a partnership with SSI, which allowed to hit a better target of people who had an affinity with Maine. And after using the Qualtrics to gather the information, we were able to use SPSS to analyze the data and create a cross-tabulation and a...
Okay. I am going to talk to you about our findings. So we obviously looked at the data and we found little to no significance for everyone in the New England area with seeing the brand and knowing what the logo meant. So since the significance was low in the cross-tabulations, we went into a cluster analysis and we developed 3 target markets that we think you should look at. The first target market is value-driven. Those people are the people who go to the supermarket and they want to buy an apple with 0 imperfections. The next one we want you to look at is health and hedonics. Those people are the people who are going to go to the grocery store, but they're also going to want to pick their own apples. Those people also really care about where their product was grown, the pesticides that were used, and whether or not the apple is healthy. But of course, apples are healthy. The next target market would be the authenticity-driven market, and they are the people who want to go pick those apples. They are the people who would plant an apple tree in their backyard. They are looking for local foods. They go to those farm stands. They really care about where their product comes from. So in these 3 clusters that I just talked to, or in these 3 target markets that I talked to you about, there was 402 people in the value-driven, there was 71 in the health and hedonics, and there was 220 in the authenticity-driven target market. Then what we did is we looked at everything from all around New England, but what we were thinking was we really need to think in Maine as well. Yes, we have those people who come to Maine in vacation, but that is normally only like 3 to 4 months out of the year, and we want to hit everyone. So if we target people in Maine, then we think that that's a good idea for you. So when we go to Maine, we still have the value-driven, the hedonics-driven, and the authenticity-driven people. And we want to focus on where they go to purchase their produce. So the health-driven people, they are going to the pick your own apple orchard farms and to the grocery store. And then the next slide. Then you have the value-driven people. Those people are going to the grocery store. At about 60% of those people are going to the grocery store. And they also go to pick your own apple orchard farms. So that's about 20%. Then you have the authenticity-driven people, and those people are definitely pick your own apple orchards or farm stands, or at the grocery store. And we know that this is significant because we have run SPSS testing on it, and we did the chi-square test. And here in the Pearson chi-square test, we can see that it was significant at 90% confidence interval.
In addition to our findings, we found that the brand awareness is in the negative. Of these 2 questions that we asked respondents, do you recognize the Get Real logo? Only 29% said that they did. And looking at the respondents who actually actively look for the Get Real label, we have a strong somewhat agree at 40%, a neither agree or disagree at 18%, and a completely agree at 30%. There is room to grow, and we are confident.
So after analyzing the data we did come to a conclusion that there's a low significance in both out of state of Maine and in state. We also are concluding to keep the logo, there's no reason to change it, and to build brand awareness by utilizing free social media, which is going to be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and also some Pinterest.
So looking at some implications, we have to address the fact that half of the lineup of the items are seasonal, and that can greatly affect the store display, as we will mention in due course. Pending the success of reaching our target market with these new campaigns, it will come down to the willingness of the farmers to participate in a cooperative action to create a marketing fund, either through an annual fee or percentage of the profits made in the store to upkeep their presence in the store, along with any hardware or promotional needs. The indeed lack of funding within the Department of Agriculture has resulted in priorities being strewn, but it would be advantageous to have 1 or 2 personnel solely dedicated to the social media campaigns for it to work.
So after looking at all of that, some recommendations we have for you. As said before, to keep the current logo, there is no need to change it, and also to push the logo by making some brand awareness. And with that, we recommend to create a farm stand display within the grocery stores that Get Real Get Maine is in. What this will be is it's going to be a stand within the grocery store, have the brand displayed or the logo, and it's going to have all of the products of Get Real Get Maine all together in that one stand. Also, within the stand, there's going to be brochures to educate and give information for buyers or people that are wondering what the brand is, that are also wondering what you supply within the brand, and to just help educate people.
And something to just kind of go off of what Rachel said, the reason why we picked putting farm stands into a grocery store is because each respondent in your target market said that they do visit the grocery store, and you just had the one in the authenticity-driven people. Those people want to see the farm stand, so I'm assuming that the other people want to see the farm stand as well, so they are going to also want to go into that grocery store, and once they see that, they're going to think, oh, farm stands, Get Real, Get Maine, they're local, that means good produce, that means health, that means value, and to them, that would drive them to purchase. So another thing that we wanted to touch upon, which you touched upon in the implications, is social media campaigns. So you have Facebook, you have Twitter, you have Instagram, you have Pinterest. All things are free to use. Facebook especially is a big one. You can start a campaign on there for liking pictures. You could have farmers post pictures of their produce or of their meats, and whichever one gets the most likes, they can get a gift card or something like that. But that's just to draw people to your Facebook page and to like it, and to get people to have impressions about what your brand is, learn about it. Another thing you can do is Instagram. That's also another great place to post photos of things that you're doing, the fairs that you're going to. And you can post on Twitter about where a farm stand is going to be that week, or where all the farm stands are in Maine. You could also do photos on Pinterest. You can also do a video campaign on YouTube. Start doing mini commercials, or just filming things that you think are important, like fairs or agricultural events. Then lastly, we have the idea of doing some type of co-optive funding with the farmers. So if you build your brand awareness and you can have it be good enough to where people are really driven to buy this Get Real, Get Maine product, we think it's fair for you to ask the farmers to either donate or take off a percentage of their profits and put it towards your marketing fund. This way, you guys can come back next year even stronger, even better, and you guys can have better photos, better commercials, anything you want to really put money into. But all those social media platforms I mentioned, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest, all of them are free for you to use, which is great because of your budget. But you really need to utilize them and find someone who can take those and really work hard on them. So that is what we have, and thank you for watching.